Just right now, some of the data is starting to come in for a good close look at what's going on in the manufacturing index globally. Countries are beginning to report what their manufacturing index is, one country at a time. It comes out at different times. By the end of the day, June 1st, Friday, 2012, we'll know what happened with the manufacturing for May. Now, what is quite obvious is that we see a lot of the metals prices slipping, right? The base metals, the precious metals, the indices and equities are all slipping. So quite obviously we're having a slowdown. Now, I'd like the people to get away from the giddy rumors on JP Morgan, whether they're true or not, because that one entity is not controlling the entire global price of silver, as people are putting the blame on them. I don't want to get too much more into details, because I think if you looked at some of my other videos, you just put two and two together. There is a little bit of a game going on within the silver community too. Not that it's just my suspicions, but close examination tells me surefire. Whenever silver goes down, it's the banksters. It's they're suppressing the prices. It's always them, and yet people are being told to always buy, and that's not really the smart thing to do. It should be maybe buying the dips, but also sell some on the highs. So that's really the game of the game. Now, if we look back last year, quantitative easing, it was being warned that quantitative easing was ending. And lo and behold, well, that's what happened. That's really what affected the price of silver more than anything. Now, why we're going to examine the primary manufacturers index is that we will be able to determine just how bad things are going, and it's my assertion that Ben Bernanke will act upon this as soon as it gets bad enough. Now, just looking at the commodity prices, this is zinc for 30 days. It's down quite a bit. Nickel, it's down. Aluminum, it's down. And of course, Dr. Copper, which is a good indication of what's going on within the economy in general and manufacturing, is down. Now, this is straight off the wire. These are just preliminary data that's coming out. But notice, China really has two statistics. One from HSBC Bank, Hong Kong Shanghai Bank in China. And actually, I think they're a lot more accurate than the official PMI. The PMI back in April was 49.3 from HSBC and 53.3 from officially. That's a major difference. But now, officially, it's 50.4. It's probably below 50, which means they're having a contraction. That's big news for China. Now, India, they're down, but they're not bad off actually right now. But most countries so far are reporting down, but it really doesn't matter what most countries do that much, because, well, first off, we know that Europe is down. Europe is looking bad. We know that. It's been that way for at least a few months. In the case of China, China consumes 60% of the commodities in the world. It's probably lower than this 50.4 figure that they're showing for China. It's probably down to 48, as Hong Kong Shanghai Bank is showing. HSBC. I would not trust the official numbers. Now, this is something Mark Farber was saying. So, what does that mean? Further slide in silver. We're definitely going to see a further slide in silver. But, like I stated, it only takes a couple months for the price to spring back a tremendous amount, as we saw in 2012. If Ben Bernanke has to act, the price will spring back tremendously. So, right now, we looks like bad news for the metals, but I do want people to actually get away from these rumors and things about the banksters doing everything, because that's like a sideshow. And quite obviously, when they're pulling this kind of garbage about, people are going to disagree with me, because I know there's games that go on, but You're not seeing a game going on in copper, zinc, lead, and aluminum. That's what's going on. So silver's reflected in that too. Be wary because there basically is a lot of disinformation out there in the silver community, and they're trying to make people do the wrong moves, or basically keep the heat on, keep the fire stoked. Well, maybe they shrewdly sell. So as of right now, there's definitely not the time to sell. But I also hear a lot of advice that the bubble has burst and that's it. No, the bubble has not burst. They're going to act upon this, and it's not going to be maybe this week or something, but it's going to be coming around pretty soon. It's not going to be like a year from now either. That's not going to be. I suspect that it's going to happen well before the election. Well before the election, so it has to happen pretty soon. They can only let things slide so much. They're going to have to act.